So my name is Molly Bull, and my topic was exercise and immunity. So our immune system we have three different types. We have our innate immune system, which are the actual physical barriers against pathogens. This is like our skin, mucous membranes, and gut biomes. Our T cells work for targeting within this system. Our adaptive immunity is like our acquired immunity. That's our library. So when we get sick, our body remembers these viruses. So then if we were to ever come across them again, we have the ability to fight them sooner. And then our passive immunity, which is in utero, which just fights off early infections. This is where we get antibodies from our mothers in utero and then also from breast milk. This figure just shows the different parts of the innate and adaptive immunities. So more parts of our immune system include the leukocytes. So there's 4,000 to 12,000 leukocytes per cubic inch of blood. These leukocytes are produced in the thymus, spleen, and bone marrow. Phagocytes have the role of absorbing and destroying pathogens. There's about 6 billion in 1 liter of blood. Natural killer cells are a part of our innate immune system. There's also our B lymphocytes, which have the role of producing antibodies and alerting our T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes destroy cells and alert our leukocytes. And then NK cells defend against viruses and tumors. Then our cytokines are important for communication in our body. They help to signal responses within the body. They also can help move leukocytes across the body, stimulate growth of immune cells, and then produce systemic inflammation in the body. So this explains our different types of white blood cells. So our neutrophils have the function of attacking bacteria and they turn to pus. This makes up 50 to 70% of our white blood cells. Our basophils are released from our bone marrow, and they're important for clotting blood to stop the spread of pathogens. They also release histamines to destroy pathogens. There's only about 2% of our white blood cells that are basophils. Eosinophils are in charge of the destruction of tumor cells, and then after exercise, they're important for repairing and remodeling muscle. Only 3 to 5% of white blood cells are eosinophils. Lymphocytes are important for inflammation and attacking pathogens. 20 to 40% of our white blood cells are lymphocytes. And finally, 2 to 8% of our white blood cells are monocytes, and they're important for destroying pathogens through degranulation, and then post-exercise, they're important for recovery. So the effect that exercise has on our body depends on the length and intensity, because that's how much it impacts the homeostasis in our body. Having a sedentary lifestyle and working out vigorously can have similar effects on our body. Working out provides an inflammatory response in our body. The more muscle damage there is, the more inflammation there is. Overall, lymphocyte circulation increases when we work out, but the effect of exercise on our body can also be varied through overtraining, lack of sleep, and insufficient nutrition. This figure just shows other things that can be done to help support our immune system: eating a balanced diet, washing your hands, getting the correct amount of rest, exercising, and then making sure you stay hydrated. So our immune response after exercise involves our innate and acquired response systems. You can track your body's response systems to exercise through looking at your cortisol and epinephrine levels. And then post-exercise is when you are most susceptible for a pathogen to enter your body. This is because your body becomes immunosuppressant. So there's a lack of lymphocytes, but you can try and defend against this by increasing your carbohydrate intake which reduces our stress hormones before and after exercise. So the type of exercise, like I had said, impacts the body differently. So short-term, high-intensity exercise increases the number and function of our NK cells. It also allows rapid redistribution of our blood. It reduces the cytotoxicity of the NK cells in our body. And then it increases the leukocytes post-exercise. This is mediated by the increase of catecholamines in our body. So then long-term high-intensity exercise reduces our cells' ability to cope within the body, which therefore leads to a higher risk of infection. And then long-term high intensity also damages our macrophages in our body, which decreases our body's ability to phagocytize. This figure just shows an example of our body's immune system after exercise. This is moderate exercise, but then the high intensity exercise shows the immunosuppression in our immune system after exercise. So regular, moderate intensity exercise is what's recommended. So that's short term, up to 45 minutes a day. It benefits our cardiovascular health and also reduces disease mortality. This figure shows what the benefits of physical activity are for adults. Immediately, it helps with sleep, decreases anxiety, and can lower blood pressure. Long-term physical activity helps with our brain and heart health. It can prevent cancer, helps maintain healthy weight, increases bone strength, and our balance and coordination. So depending on the sport, it can also have a different effect on our immunity. So marathon runners have more muscle damage, therefore there's a decreased innate immune system response. It also creates a lower lymphocyte and eosinophil total. Cycling increases our B lymphocytes by 60% and increases our neutrophils. Swimming allows for an increased T cell count and increases our immune system's alertness. Volleyball significantly increases our T cells and decreases our NK cell cytotoxicity. So then different temperatures also affects our body differently for exercise. The antioxidant activity increases significantly after 2 45-minute runs and higher temperatures. Higher temperature also can increase our white blood cell count, neutrophils, and basophils specifically. And then in the cold, there's a decrease in the lymphocyte count. Also, high altitudes can affect how exercise impacts our immune system. There's a significant decrease in our T lymphocytes. There's an increase in stress hormones, catecholamines, and cytokines, and then NK cells significantly increase, but the cytotoxicity is not affected. Thank you for listening to my presentation.